Yo, what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Champions, where we talk about the different personalities, storylines, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the Flesh, as always, and my co-host needs no introduction, but the hell with it. He's about to give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is his tag team partner, the adventurer himself, Jonathan Randall, at your guys' service. And welcome to our soap opera that we call Professional Wrestling, to our podcast. And man, we're almost at the end of the year, man. There's so much has been going on, and so much went on this past Saturday at Saturday's night's main event.
And yes, I was there in attendance for that show. My first time at the Nassau Coliseum since 1998. Luckily, it was only a 15-minute drive from where I'm currently staying. And
Oh,
yeah, it felt good to be back there, despite the fact that they only were letting people in through one side of the entrance for the building. So it took me almost an hour just to get inside.
wow.
But luckily,
Whoa. Hold up, Carol. How come?
I don't know what the deal was, but for whatever reason, there was only one side of the building where they were letting people inside, and that line was like super long. But
Wow.
luckily,
It
I
was
got there.
freezing.
It was cold, but I wasn't suffering. Like, it's been colder before. But it just, the thing was, I was lucky that I got there like an hour ahead of time. So by the time I got there, the show was about to start. I did miss the dark match though.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
But I gotta say, man, I love the whole nostalgia feel of it, how they brought back the old school graphics, the Obsession theme song, how Jesse Ventura was there. And like at the beginning of the show, they had that old school NBC introduction saying Saturday Night Live will not air tonight as we have a special presentation. I did like that part too.
That was dope.
But there was one thing that was kind of missing from it, like in the opening promo video. For some reason, they excluded Hogan from it.
Huh. Hmm. Hmm.
And like I've said before, we're not fans of really Hogan anymore for obvious reasons, but
He played a big
realistically,
part, but he played a big part of that show.
yeah, most of the Saturday night's main events from that era were pretty much centered around Hogan. He headlined like at least 90% of them.
Yeah, and when I was doing my research, you have to remember at that time, for most audience, if you weren't able to, watch like a pay-per-view back then, watching Hogan, closed circuit well, not closed circuit television, just television was like that was kind of like the best opportunity for you to see him.
Yeah, because back then they only had like the pay per views 4 times a year. So the
Yeah.
Saturday night's main events were kind of like the bridge in between pay per views. And like, Hogan wouldn't really wrestle on Superstars or Wrestling Challenge. So like the few times you would actually get to see Hogan wrestle would either be at the pay-per-views or going to a live event or on the Saturday night's main events.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently Hogan was accompanying this dude to like his fight, like during a UFC fight over the weekend. He was there instead in Tampa.
Still though, it's a bit weird that he's not, in it though. But
There,
overall, look, seeing Jesse Ventura again, that was great, man. And he did a good job. It was a bit weird because I thought he's gonna color commentate throughout the night, but he didn't. He only did it for the last match, but he was only at the podium outside of the ring, just talking, in between, after matches.
Yo, I love that line that he said about Liv Morgan after that match. He's like, yo, that Dominic can sure pick women, can he? Oh shit, that was great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and he did call the main event. I did think he did a good job. But the one thing I always liked about Jesse Ventura that kind of reminds me now of how I call out certain politics is the logic that he would use. Like for instance, whenever Hulk Hogan would cheat in a match back in the day, or Ultimate Warrior would cheat in a match, he would be like the first person to call it out.
Or
And
any
like,
other babyface, pretty much. He was that first heel commentator. at the time. You know what I mean? This is before Jerry Lawler and before Bobby Heenan, and he was that first guy who like look, I want to be different. I want to not support the babyface. I want to support the heel, which is a very good and entertaining thing. They have more charisma, more color, and more personality when you do that, and I love that.
Yeah, he added so much to it. And like, yo, in a lot of cases, he was right when he would call out Hogan for doing something messed up, or Warrior, or anybody else. And then like Gorilla Monsoon or Vince McMahon were just offended. Like the best example I could think of was SummerSlam 89 when Ultimate Warrior hits like Ravishing Ripley with the IC title outside the ring. And Vince was like, what the hell? That should be a disqualification. And then Tony Schiavone's like, but it was outside the ring, so it can't be a disqualification. And Ventura's like, what the hell? So you're saying it's cool to shoot somebody as long as it's outside the ring? You know what? You're even dumber than Monsoon is. I thought Monsoon was the dumbest person alive.
Oh God.
Nah, but that's why I liked him. That's why I respected him so much, because he had logic.
Yeah.
I like that he brought the bows back and everything too.
Yeah. That was funny.
All right, but overall, like as far as the show goes, Saturday night's main event, it
It's
was
better.
cool. It was fine, but honestly, especially being there, it had a lot of house show vibes.
Yeah, true. I mean,
As far as how the matches turned out.
okay. I mean, I think for like nostalgic purposes, I think it was because you got to remember, you know, this is like you pretty much watch this show like pretty much during its heyday. You know what I mean? Like I only
I
watched it.
didn't. It was before my time. It was way before my
Yeah, I
time.
know it was before way your time though, but like there's certain things that you like stuff that you've seen that were during that time. You know what I mean? And for me, like because you got to remember, I remember the very first time I watched an episode was back in 2006. You know what I mean? So um, just to see the show back, which was a cool thing. That was really I was like mostly I was like happy about to see. There were certain things in throughout that night where I was like, you know what, it was cool. And I think I heard rumors that they may bring it back next month.
Oh no, they are. They're gonna have at least four
San
of them a
Antonio.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good. Good. They should do that.
they're gonna have one. Yeah, the week before the Royal Rumble, January 25th in San Antonio, and
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura is gonna be a part of all of them too.
Good. Good.
Yeah, his son actually put the deal together. His son is actually his agent.
Oh, that's nice. That's dope.
Do you remember, like at the WrestleManias back in the day, when Jesse Ventura would say, "I just want to send a shout out to Terry, Tyrell, and Jade back in Minnesota"? Do you remember when he would do that?
No.
I remember, like I would watch those early WrestleManias, and he would always say that at all of them. I found out later that Terry, Tyrell, and Jade are his wife and kids.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, like it took me a while to figure it out, but then when I watched his documentary and I saw the name of his wife and kids, I'm like, oh, those are the people he would be shouting out at WrestleMania every year.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, cool. His son's name is Tyrell. His son is the one who put the deal together.
Nice. That's very good for him.
Yeah, I know he's gonna be wanting his royalty check though, because it's funny. Like he's one of the few people that actually take Vince McMahon to court and actually win.
Really?
Yeah, over royalties, because every time they would play old footage of WWE with like his voice on it, he was supposed to get paid for it and he wasn't getting paid for it, so we ended up taking Vince to court for it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was another person who left WWE like in that early '90s period that like you kind of felt their absence, was him.
Yeah. Yep. WrestleMania 6 was the last one. Man.
Yeah, he left like the month before SummerSlam. Like he was on that Saturday night's main event the month before SummerSlam, and then he was gone right before then. That's why Piper did commentary on that SummerSlam.
Gotcha. Well, going into this event, so for Saturday night's main event, we had the opener was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. What do you thought about this match?
The match was fine. It kind of ended out of nowhere. Like I
Yeah.
said, like the vibe I got from pretty much all the matches and their outcomes was, yeah, very house show like. So the
Yeah.
match was cool, and the match had its fun spots, but ultimately Drew McIntyre won with the Claymore kick. There was
Mhm.
no outside interference. There was no controversy. There was no like furthering of an angle. It was just that Drew McIntyre won fair and square.
Yeah. Most I pretty much like all the matches were pretty much like that. We thought that most of them some of the matches would have like an outside interference, but it didn't. But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like yeah, that happened in the first match, and then in the second match, Liv Morgan went against Io Sky for the women's world title, and as Io Sky attempted a moonsault, Liv Morgan put her feet up to block it, and then she hit Io Sky with her finisher to retain the title. But there was one point in the match where Io Sky hit her really hard in the face with her knee, and she gutted
Yeah,
her up too.
yeah. She was like bleeding from her nose, man. That was a oof, nasty though. But hey, like Jr. said, this is not ballet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and then as Liv Morgan was celebrating in the IOA, Rhea Ripley came out to confront her and stare her down. And I'm not gonna lie, Rhea Ripley got one of the hottest reactions of the night. Like being there in the arena, yo, they went ape shit for Rhea Ripley.
oh yeah, yeah,
And also in the triple threat match for the world title, we had Gunther defending against Damien Priest and Finn Balor. Damien Priest is another person they really went hard for, the crowd.
yeah. This match was pretty good. It was
Yeah, it
the
was.
ending. Towards the ending was the one I was like, oh man, that was Gunther power bombs Damian Priest onto the steel steps outside of the ring, then goes into the ring and power bombs Finn Balor to get the win. That was wow.
Yeah, but that power bomb to Damian Priest could have gone really bad because I don't know if you noticed, like in the early part of it, he kind of like struggled to get him up, but
Yeah, a little
luckily
botch.
everything
Yeah, I got a little
went
botch at
fine.
first. Look, he had it. Yeah, I saw that though. At least he was still able to do it though. But at that brief second, looked like he had a little bit of trouble lifting him up though. But thank God he was able to do it.
Yeah, a lot of people even said that he got a lot of high praise backstage for that, for the way he handled it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in the finals of the women's United States title tournament, we had Chelsea Green against Mi Chin. And Chelsea Green also got one of the loudest reactions of the night, too. Yo, they were going ham for Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And oh,
I love her finisher. I love the ending of it.
yo, the finish of this was great. How she reversed Mia Chin's move from the top rope to the unpretty her. Shout out to Kristen Cage. Yeah, the unpretty her. That was
Yeah.
all she wrote after she hit that. And Chelsea Green is now the inaugural Women's United States champion, and she deserves it.
She does. We both predicted that, and we're both happy for her. She needed that.
Because I've been saying for a hot minute, she's one of the best female characters on the show. Like just her mannerisms, her facial expressions, like the way she plays off every situation. Yo, she's top notch, son.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was really happy for her. It would have been nice to see Naomi win the tournament, but it is what it is. I'm happy that Chelsea Green got to have that moment. She's definitely put in the work.
yeah.
And in the main events for the WWE Championship, we had Cody Rhodes bringing back the Wing Eagle Championship, defending the WWE title against Kevin motherfucking Owens.
Wow. So two things. I mean, we so about a day prior to Saturday night's main event, there's a video clip of Triple H presenting Cody Rhodes a briefcase of something. And he opens it. It looked like you're watching a scene of Pulp Fiction when they're opening the briefcase and that big, gold glare onto your face. And we all knew that, oh, it's the Wing Eagle Championship belt, you know what I mean, though. But just seeing it live in person, man, it was such a beautiful thing to see. Very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool to see them bring it back. I didn't get to see it like up close at first because I was kind of like far away from the entrance. But
Yeah,
then when
from
we got
your
the close up of it,
yeah, from the videos and pictures that you sent me and that I posted on to our social media platforms, yeah, it was a bit far though, but still though. And number two, I know that you were there live, right? But as I alluded to earlier, so Jesse Ventura, finally, color commentated this match only. Did you go back and watch this event on Peacock?
yes, I did. I went to watch it literally right when I got home from the show.
How well did you like Jesse Ventura's commentating?
I thought he did great. I mean, obviously he's older; he hasn't done it in a long time, but
Yeah,
I thought he sounded great.
good. As far as the match, we all thought that, again, we thought that, something was going to happen, but, for this championship match, this event on NBC, no, we're going to get a clean finish, and we did.
Yes, we did, but we had like two different referee bumps at one point,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, we saw that.
And then Kevin Owens brings the chair into the ring. And then as he brings that chair into the ring, Cody Rhodes like blocks it and then hits Kevin Owens with the crossroads onto the chair. And then Charles Robinson, who was outside the ring after being knocked out, actually did the count from outside the ring, which allowed Cody to
Yeah,
retain. That
which
was
was
kind of
weird.
odd. Yeah, very odd.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, maybe he was, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of laziness, or just like, I don't want to feel like getting in the ring right now, though. But yeah, that was a weird, weird thing to see the referee make a count while you're outside.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was odd. And then like Cody's kind of celebrating. I'm kind of thinking something's gonna happen because like Kevin Owens is like still outside the ring. And then I see them put like the copyright graphic on the screen. So I'm like, okay, I guess the show is over. I
Yeah,
guess that's it. It is what it is. They're gonna see some of the crowd holding happy. And then Cody gets on the mic about to give a speech because he kind of did the same thing when I went to SmackDown in Atlanta earlier this year. Like after the match, he gave like a speech before the show was over. And then
mm,
like he's right about to give a speech, and then Kevin Owens attacks him. I'm like, oh shit, something's gonna go down.
yep.
And then Kevin Owens proceeds to hit Cody Rhodes with a package pile driver. Ooh,
The same pile driver.
ooh.
It's the same pile driver he did to Randy Orton not too long ago.
No, actually, no, it's not the same pile driver he did to Randy Orton. It's a different kind of pile driver.
Oh,
You notice how he hooked his legs and his arms and then he did
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a different pile driver. He hasn't done that move actually since he's been on the independent scene.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, so
wow. My apologies. Wow.
it's all good. And then this leads to like Cody Rhodes getting taken out on a stretcher. And then Kevin Owens leaves with a Wing Eagle Championship. And as he's walking to the back, Triple H comes and confronts him, and him and Triple H get into like a shoving match and have
Yeah.
to be separated. Yo, it was wild, son. But it was funny. I heard the crowd chanting, "You deserve it," as this is all going on. I don't know if they were chanting "You deserve it" for Kevin Owens taking the belt with him, or if they were chanting "You deserve it" because Cody was getting taken out on the stretcher.
I don't know, man. If that's the second reason what you just said, I think that's really messed up though. Because look, he's been.
It's New York, son. It's New
I know,
York, son.
I know, it's not a surprise though. But like, look, like Cody has been getting a lot of hate, being champion this year. You know what I mean? So, like you said, it is New York, so it really isn't like surprising though. But I don't
He got
know.
a good reaction though. No, he got a good reaction when he came out. Like they were singing the song with him and everything. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
hot for Cody too.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, like nothing really crazy happened on the actual broadcast. Like the craziest swerve that happened was pretty much when the show went off the air. And the main reason why they did that was so that they could get like their social media views up. Because that whole incident when Kevin Owens attacked him afterwards got like 45 million views across their social media platforms.
Well, it's the same thing what they did for Bad
Bad
Blood.
blood. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? We're watching the show, and oh, okay, and then it's over, and the next thing you know, about what, I don't know, what, 30 minutes or so later, now we're hearing about, oh, this happened. What, Kevin Owens is attacking Cody Rhodes? What the hell? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think they're gonna start doing that as a I like that. That's stuff like, imagine if that happened like back then, 20, 25 years ago, stuff like that. That would have been
Oh, it
even
did.
crazier.
Oh, it did. The Saturday night's main event in '92, when Undertaker turned babyface, it actually didn't air that night. It aired the following week on Superstars when Macho Man beat Jake the Snake. And as Macho Man and Elizabeth were walking to the back, Jake the Snake was waiting behind the curtain to attack them with a chair. And then
Oh,
Undertaker stopped him from doing it.
okay.
But it didn't air that night. It aired the following week on Superstars.
Got you.
So yeah, these things have happened before, but yeah, that was a crazy ass angle they did to end the show. And afterwards, like the next day, they were talking about how like Cody has all these different kind of injuries and how he like stayed in the hospital overnight and had like swelling in his neck and all this other craziness. And I just said to myself, in other words, Cody Rhodes is going on his holiday break.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's going to Disney World. Yeah, but it was a good angle, good way to end the show, kind of a controversial way to send everybody home. But yeah, overall, I had a good time going to the show. Yeah, it was definitely one of the more fun experiences I've had going
Yeah.
to a wrestling
I
show in
mean,
a
you're
minute.
going to Saturday night's main event, you know what I mean? And I think just to be part of that show, that's kind of like, look, before we had Monday Night Raw, Saturday night's main event was like that. That was kind of like your premiere show for a wrestling fan, you know what I mean? And during the research and everything, there's an episode from was it from February of 1988 that drew so many viewers, over 33 million viewers.
Well, technically, that was a different special. That was called the main
Yeah, this
event. That
the
was a
main
Friday
event.
night
Yeah,
show.
that was which pretty much aired on a Friday, not a
Yeah,
Saturday.
aired on a Friday night in prime time, but the Saturday night's main events typically would air on Saturday night, like at 10:30 at night,
Yeah,
and they would be taped. And they would also be taped, but the main event special was actually live.
right.
But yeah, that is a crazy ass number. 33 million people watched that show.
Because
Holy
Hulk
shit.
Hogan defended his title against Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that was the night that Hogan lost the title because of the referee screw job with the twin referees. And then
Yeah,
Andre gave the belt to DiBiase.
yeah.
And Hogan whined like a little bitch backstage afterwards. The referees, how much money do they pay him for the plastic surgery? Yeah, they had some crazy angles on that main event show. They had that. Then the next year, the Hogan and Savage split. And then the year after that, the Buster Douglas special guest referee spot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see,
but
like it's those type of shows that look, like if Saturday Night's main event came here to Vegas, which is far from happening, because you know what's going to happen, next upcoming months, though. But if they were to ever, to come here, hell yeah, I would definitely would go to that. You know what I mean? Without
you know what's
hesitation.
funny? You know what's funny? Those Saturday night's main events also used to go to some weird ass towns like Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa.
Are we talking about back then?
Yeah, back then, like
Oh,
Chattanooga,
okay.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, some odd places, but it is what it
Weird.
is. Yeah, but I'll say, like I said, overall, yeah, it was a fun experience. It was cool to see the legends there. Like they had Tito Santana there, Jimmy Hart, they had Greg Valentine, Coco Beware. They
Hmm.
showed like CM Punk talking with them backstage like beforehand too.
Oh, good, good, good.
I remember back in the day, like on commentary, when Jesse Ventura would always call Tito Santana Chico Santana.
All right.
It was an inside joke because they were friends, so like Tito Santana wasn't like offended by it.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I heard Tito Santana was like a Spanish teacher, like a middle
Yeah,
school
he
Spanish
is.
teacher.
I think he's a I don't know if he was no, I don't know if he was middle school or high school though. But yeah, he is a school teacher. Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, anytime I see a megaphone, like anytime I ever see anybody with a megaphone, I think of Jimmy Hart.
Not just him, not just Tito Santana though, but Muhammad Hassan is also a school teacher as well.
He's a principal. He's not even just a teacher.
Principal,
He's a
sorry,
principal.
principal. Yes, principal. Yep. He looks so different, man.
I wonder what
Oh
would
man, you
happen
can't
if
even recognize him anymore. He looks so. I was like, oh my god, he looks so different.
I wonder what would happen if him and the Ava character from Abbott Elementary cross paths.
Oh god.
You watch Abbott Elementary?
No, I heard of it.
Yeah, Ava is the school principal lady who like doesn't give a fuck.
Oh wow.
She's mad pretty too, but that's another story. So yeah, Saturday night's main event was fun. I had a good time being there. Another reason why I think Hogan wasn't there was because Jesse Ventura was there, and obviously they
Ah,
have beef.
ha.
Nah, but I think Hogan should have at least been in the graphics. I think at least that he should have been a part of.
I
But
know. Yeah,
whatever.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I'll never. I think one of my favorite Saturday night's main event matches was actually the cage match Hogan had with Big Boss Man in '89 when he superplexed him from the top of the cage.
Oh wow.
That was the same night Zeus debuted and Zeus attacked him before the match started.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend right before No Holds Barred came out. The greatest movie of all time. Bullshit. And also, more than anything, it's cool that they had that Saturday night's main event at the same place the original one was in back in 1985. It was a cool, like, trip down memory lane.
No, that was good though. The whole retro, intro that they did a very good job.
And it's funny, on that same original Saturday night's main event, they debuted the Cyndi Lauper music video for the movie The Goonies.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I never cared for that movie personally, but I mean, I know a lot of people like are really into it.
Yeah, I only seen it a couple times. It's, it's not one of those '80s movies where I was, oh my god, like I love this. Like, no, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know they got a lot of ideas for Stranger Things from it. I could definitely tell that. A lot of the same actors also they have in Stranger Things too.
Yeah, yeah.
That Corey Feldman kid was like in everything back in the day.
He was though. He's one of the popular kid actors back then. So
Yeah, he was in that. He was in Stand By Me, which is a fucking classic. If you've never seen it, Stand By Me is a great movie.
yeah,
Also, The Lost Boys, License to
yeah.
Drive. He
Hmm.
did the voice of Donatello in the Ninja Turtles movies. Yeah, he was in mad shit.
Okay. Hmm.
All right, but yes, that was Saturday night's main event. Had a good time being there. Definitely some stuff to talk about coming out of it, and also but also some more stuff to talk about was what would happen on Monday Night Raw last night.
Yeah, which kicked off with CM Punk coming out to the ring.
Yeah, CM Punk came out to the ring, started talking more shit about Seth Rollins, and he kept like constantly waiting for Rollins to come out and interrupt him, and like Rollins kept like not coming out for whatever reason. And then out of nowhere, lo and behold, Rollins comes out without his theme music, but he comes through the crowd.
Yep,
And
and
then
just
CM Punk says, "Yeah, you belong in there with all the other CM Punk fans."
yeah, and pretty much Seth Rollins went back at him and telling him how, like, difference is that these fans actually had a main event at WrestleMania.
Ooh, yeah,
Ooh,
that set Punk off, and then Punk
yeah,
and Rollins like ran to each other and started brawling
for
again.
the second
And
time.
then, yep, second time, and then they had to be separated. And then even though they were separated, like Rollins found his way like out of like security's clutches and like jumped over the railing and got at Punk again, and they started brawling some more. Yeah, shit was pretty wild. The brawl was a lot better this time than it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I like the fact how it was outside the ring and pretty much amongst the fans. I like that. That was different. So, um, and then like we said before in the last episode, sorry, is that they pretty much it is scheduled. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on the debut episode of Raw on Netflix.
Yes, it was made official last night by Adam Pearce. It's going to be the two of them on that special on Netflix on Raw in 3 weeks. And I think that's going to be the night where Rollins turns.
Yeah, and I think something's going to happen. I don't think there's not going to be a declared loser or winner. I think something's going to happen where they are going to have their match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and Drew McIntyre was even trying to talk to Rollins last night. He was kind of like trying to get in his ear, saying how we like both have a lot in common. We both have a common enemy. And Rollins kind of wasn't having it. Rollins was like saying, like, unlike you, like Jay Uso and Sami Zayn are my friends, and I don't, try to hurt my friends like that. And he said, unlike you, I'm gonna actually put a stop to CM Punk for good.
Oh,
And then later that night, as like Rollins was being interviewed, it looked like McIntyre was going to try to attack him from behind, but before anything could happen, Sami Zayn got in the way, and him and Drew McIntyre started brawling, and they had to be separated.
sheesh! I told
Ooh.
you,
So that
not
feud's not over
not done.
either.
No, definitely not. Oh no, just because we got a clean finish at Saturday night's main event doesn't mean it's over or anything. No, this feud is something is really nice. I like it. It's good that Drew McIntyre, because he just came back. This is good. So no, this feud is not over yet.
No, it's not. And also last night on Raw, Liv Morgan came out with Dominic and Raquel Rodriguez to gloat about her 2024, how she's the greatest women's world champion of all time, and even said it in a megaphone with some
Uh,
Jimmy Hart vibes. Yeah, but then Rhea Ripley obviously came out to interrupt this, and she came out to say that Adam Pierce has made the match official between the two of them for the women's world title. Although she did not say when it's gonna be, she said that she's gonna put an end to Liv Morgan's title reign, and then once she takes her title from her, all she's gonna have left is a little chicken tender slut, referring to Dominic Mysterio.
that was funny. Just what a
That was a great line. Great
great
line.
line. Yeah, that wow.
So I know it hasn't been announced yet, but I think definitely we're getting that match at the Raw on Netflix in 3 weeks.
Hey, this Raw on Netflix card is shaping up really big. They not only that, most likely we're gonna get that, and then how can you forget we're gonna get Roman Reigns versus Sikoa.
Yes, that was made official this past Friday on SmackDown. And the winner is going to get the Ula Fala and be officially the tribal chief once and for all.
Yes, yes, told you. This thing has to end, man. Roman has to. I told you, going into the Royal Rumble, right? They can't. They have to. Whatever feuds that was going on, this year or late this year has to end. You got to start fresh. You got to start new going into the Royal Rumble, and this is one of them.
Yep, but I think I know how this might turn out.
Hmm.
If Roman wins, I think the rest of the other Bloodline members turn on Solo afterwards.
Yeah.
But if Solo wins, I think he's going to have help from one of either two people.
The Rock.
Him being one or Drew McIntyre. Because
That's
like
weird because he's feuding with Sami Zayn. That's
the thing. That's the
that's
thing.
odd.
The reason why Drew's feuding with Sami Zayn, also Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, who he attacked last Friday on SmackDown too, when he was like on a crutch because of his broken toe. He was saying that he had like 3 down, 2 more to go. And considering that he said that, Roman Reigns is going to be one of those people on that list, and that could set up Roman and Drew for WrestleMania.
Wow, for the second time within what was it
6
years?
6 years.
Wow.
I mean, they do have some unfinished business. I mean, I wouldn't hate the idea. But The Rock interfering in the match also sounds dope, and they could set up,
I think
Rock
The
and
Rock.
Roman for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think The Rock sounds a little more juicier. You know what I mean? Because of
Yeah, but either or, I don't have a problem with either scenario.
Okay.
And I think The Rock probably will be there because they've been showing his face on the graphic for it, so I don't think they would do that on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't think they would do that by accident. I don't think they would just do that for the hell of it.
Yeah. What do you think about the new logo, though?
I like it.
Same. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, so we have that official for the first Raw on Netflix. And also on Raw, we had the War Raiders finally dethrone the Judgment Day for the tag team titles, thanks to Damien Priest, who interfered in the match and kept Finn Balor from using the chair, which led to the War Raiders finishing him off. And I was happy for the War Raiders. It was a great moment for them, especially because they both were like dealing with injuries, like really serious injuries, to the point where I believe Ivar was talking about how like he wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to walk again. And Eric was talking about how like he didn't even know if he'd be able to hug his kids or like hold his kids. And he held like his newborn son for the first time 2 weeks ago. So like considering that they implemented that into the story and they won, I'm glad it went down that way.
And it was good for them. They needed those belts, and also it was good for the tag team division because look, Finn Balor and JD held those belts way too long. They rarely defended it. You know what I mean? So you need to make a title switch.
Yeah, they defended those titles 3 times total, including last night. And yeah, they needed to lose those belts already. I'm happy for the War Raiders, although I might have a feeling that this might be a transitional title reign.
Oh, okay.
Because I think 2 more people will be getting those belts very soon, and I think you might know who those 2 people are.
Oh shit! Are we talking about Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston?
Kofi Kingston, your twin, yes, and Xavier Woods, yes, those 2.
Oh, please screw him, not my twin.
Yeah, last night they come to the arena and they're trying to go into the locker room, but Rey Mysterio does not let them in.
Nope. I would have told them straight up, like, y'all ain't welcome here. We don't want you here, so get to stepping.
Yeah, Kofi and Xavier got the Miz 2006 treatment.
He's like, I thought we were cool, man. You're supposed to be the locker room leader. Let us in. Like, no. And then Xavier Woods chimes in, talking about, well, we didn't want to come here anyway. I literally told you not to come in here. So bye. I would have been straight. Kurt, if I was in that segment, there were certain things I would have changed up. Like, because like when I watched that, I know how Rey Mysterio is. This is nothing against him. Rey Mysterio is a very, very nice and chill guy, right? If that would have been me, I would have been straight up, would have been like an asshole towards him. Like, nah, you ain't welcome here. After what you just did, you ain't welcome. So bye. I'm not going to be, oh, well, no, no, I'm straight up like, you ain't welcome here. Like, bye, Felicia. Like, go.
Yeah, he would have been like
Straight up.
JBL, and you would have been like JBL back in the day on him.
Hell yeah, I would. God. For real. I would have get my cabinet members to block the doorway. No, get out of here. After what you just did, nah. I would have like,
Xavier,
both of you guys deserve to get your asses whipped. Get out. Like, you're not. And he's gonna like, well, we're not gonna welcome you anyway. I literally just told you in English that you're not welcome in here, regardless if you wanted to be in here or not. So get to stepping.
yeah, Xavier should have been like, yo, the hell with you then. Your son's cooler than you anyway.
All right, then bye. That's why you're not in here.
And
Bye,
he has chicken
Felicia.
tenders.
Huh?
And he has chicken tenders.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a damn about that.
I only fuck with Beyond chicken tenders anyway, but that's another
Your
story.
locker room's in the restroom. Go.
Yeah, just like Miz back in the day. Yeah, Kofi even put out a tweet because they were in Boston last night, his hometown. He even put out a tweet saying,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we wanted to make an appearance in front of you guys, in front of my hometown, but thanks to Rey Mysterio, we weren't able to. We weren't able to change, so we just left. So you can thank Rey Mysterio for that.
Oh damn. You're welcome to here.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes in the next few months. I do have a feeling that they're going to get the belts, though, with the momentum they have right now.
Yeah, that's gonna put more heat on them, so which will be good for them. So
Yeah, another great match we got last night was Bron Breakker against Ludwig Kaiser for the Intercontinental title. This match was solid. It went over 2 commercial breaks, actually.
ooh.
And Bron Breakker obviously retained with a super spear, which was dope. But yo, these two had a good match.
I like Louis Kaiser, especially in that triple threat match from Survivor Series.
Yeah, it wasn't better than that match, but it was still solid.
No, I love his performance. So he's really showing himself as a true singles competitor, and I love it.
Yeah, he's like showing that he's much more than just going through sidekick. He's showing that he could like really be a player too.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bron Breakker also, there's a chance from the way it's looking now, and considering that he had a confrontation with Gunther a few months ago, a brief one, Bron Breakker could possibly be the Royal Rumble winner.
He's a wild card. I consider him a wild card.
I'm not saying he will win, but there's a chance he could.
If he does not win, I predict this: he will be the final 4.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see Bron Breakker winning the Royal Rumble, The Rock maybe if he comes back, or John Cena.
If there are, I mean, we're not going to get deep into this because we're not there yet, but this upcoming Royal Rumble is probably one of the biggest Royal Rumbles we've seen since, man, like since like back then. Talking about we're talking about like 2001, 2002 vibes.
I
And
thought
even
last year's was
last
pretty
year,
big. Yeah, I thought last year's was big.
even last year's too. You know what I mean? Because there's just so much, wrestlers involved in this match. You know what I mean? From Roman Reigns, CM Punk, The Rock, maybe John Cena. Remember his retirement tour starts in a couple of
January, yeah.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna be on that Raw on Netflix. Yeah, he's gonna be
yeah.
there.
You know what I mean? So there's so much that man, there's so much. But I could definitely, there's like new people, upcoming superstars that like, you know what? I could see them like maybe like the last 4 or last 6 in that match left is Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, that'd be a great
I
matchup.
could definitely see Jacob Fatu doing damage in that match.
Solo, I love you. I love you. Well, If my predictions are right, he won't be saying that for much longer.
No.
Yeah, crazy shit. But
Yeah.
also, so with Damian Priest costing Finn Balor and Jay McDonough the tag titles, I think it might be Damian Priest and Finn Balor on that Raw too.
Hmm.
And then that could possibly be what leads to Finn Balor getting kicked out of Judgment Day and Dominic taking over.
Dude, they need to end that stable, man. It's getting old, and it's not, you know.
This version of Judgment Day now reminds me of when Mobb Deep joined G Unit.
Hmm. It's not as
Mm.
cool as it more like it used to be. You got to, you know what I mean.
Or when Roxy and Terrence J took over the hosting duties for 106 in Park.
Hey, man, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was watching it back then. It wasn't like,
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like, as somebody who watched that show for years,
yeah,
like before they came along, when Roxy and Terrence J came along, they were good hosts. I'm not taking that away from them, but
right.
just in general, from the vibe I got from the show, it just got messier. Like, they would have like issues with the guests, issues with each other. Yeah, like the
Oh,
whole dynamic of it was just,
oh,
yeah, drama filled.
oh. Wasn't catching on to that. I know you were older than me during the time though, but man, yeah, that,
I've
wow.
watched like documentaries of like what happened to the show, like on YouTube, and like they
Yeah,
would like show clips that like I had never seen before of like, for instance, this one dude like Webby, this one rapper Webby was on there once, and like he was on the show, and then after the commercial break, Taryn said Webby will not be back. Webby is no longer welcome on 106 in Park, and then apparently afterwards it came out that like Webby like did something inappropriate to Roxy or something along those lines, and yeah, that's why he
whoa,
got kicked out. Yeah, like a lot of that shit would happen, and like Roxy and Terrence, they would like be visibly like beefing with each other and like not getting along. Yeah, like a lot of messy shit was going on like during that era
dang,
of it.
wow,
That's another story for another time. But yeah, this
yeah,
version of Judgment Day is not the same without Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely
There's
taking
just,
a dive.
yeah, man. I can't recall if I've seen any other factions before that where it's like, okay, this faction started off hot, and then later down the road when certain members leave, it's just the vibe is not the same anymore. You know what I mean?
NWO 2000.
Oh, um,
Yeah, there's a couple of them I can think of. They're not really coming to me right now, but there's a couple of them
yeah,
that
it'll come back to me.
definitely
Yeah. Hmm.
ring a bell. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that Raw on Netflix is really shaping up. It's definitely going to be a big deal. You should try to go out there for the day. It's going to be in LA. You should make a day drive out of it.
Uh,
If you're not going to go
oh,
to WrestleMania, maybe you can go to that instead.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I played my cards right. You know what I mean? Just oh my god, if my life was so different, then yeah. Um, are you still thinking about going to Mania, or is it just a long stretch, or is it?
I feel like, I mean, I really want to, but also in the sense, I feel like I really need to, because the last like year or so has not been like a year I'm gonna look back on fondly. I've kind of taken a lot of L's throughout the last year, so I kind of feel like I need to like go to WrestleMania to kind of like turn the momentum around, and also kind of like change my fortunes around in a sense, and kind of
Yeah.
also like I haven't been to a WrestleMania in so long, and I was dying to go to this one when I heard it was coming to Vegas. So I'm like, if I end up not going to this, it's gonna be a huge letdown.
I kind of feel like that too a little bit though. It's just what it's just the prices bother me, man. That just like
I get it. I
why?
get it.
It's just like, dude, you can't TKO merger or not, man. Like you can't be doing that to your fans, man. Not fair. I'm sorry. It's not right.
Yeah, this is what we get for Biden being president. I'm
Man.
That's another story for another time.
We'll see. Just yeah, just still play my cards right, man. I'm still been looking. I've been looking at different places. You know what I mean? So oh, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's still like 4.5 months away. There's still
Yeah.
time. It's still possible. That's the way I'm looking at it. It is still possible.
Hmm.
Not gonna give up hope.
Me neither. I think that's a perfect way you just put it down. Not don't give up. So
Yeah, but another example I think I could think of as far as like stables not being the same is like when the NWO became like the NWO Black and White. like when they split up.
Oh, and then they had the red and black as well, and oh
Well, the
yeah.
red and black had a cool factor. Like the red and black was cool, but like just in general, like that black and white version of it, yeah, it just wasn't popping.
Mm,
Even with Hogan as the leader.
mm-hmm.
All right, but anyway, some crazy ass news dropped last week concerning TNA as Tessa Blanchard has made a return to the company, and apparently the people in TNA kept it a secret and like didn't inform anybody about it until it happened. And a lot of people in TNA, specifically Jordan Grace being one of them, are not happy about this.
Why is that?
A few years ago, Tessa Blanchard put out a tweet like talking about how like women should stick together and like women in wrestling should, be a sisterhood, things along those lines. And a whole bunch of different women wrestlers were coming for her, talking about how like she used to bully all the other girls, fuck with all the other girls, even bringing up one incident where she spit on this other black wrestler and called her the N-word.
Didn't we talk about that briefly one time years ago?
Yeah, this happened like 5 years ago, like the beginning of 2020, like before the pandemic happened. Yeah, so like she
Wow.
she got like a lot of like bad publicity from that, and the next day
Mm-hmm.
she actually won the TNA title, like the men's TNA title. She actually won it the next day. But the thing was, like the biggest beef that people will have with her over this, is that she never really like openly apologized for that. Like
That's
she
what I was just getting
never.
ready to ask you. Has she apologized since then?
Apparently, her and that one woman that she spit on and called the N word to, they made peace since then. But
Ugh,
apparently, for the other stuff, she hasn't like really taken any accountability for it.
that's crazy, man.
And not only that, she also held up TNA like later that year for like $100,000. Like she was supposed to make a few appearances for like these TV tapings, and she never showed up. And she like kept the title hostage or something. And like she also left that WoW promotion on bad terms too. Yeah, so like she has like a lot of like negative toxicness surrounding her, kind of like in a way like the female CM Punk,
Yeah.
but worse.
Hmm. I don't know whose decision was to make that. Wow. That's crazy stuff right there, man. Man, that's ooh.
But apparently, the reason why they brought her back is to kind of like replace Jordan Grace, because Jordan Grace apparently isn't going to resign with them. She's probably going to go to WWE soon, because you've been
Mm,
seeing her in WWE a lot the last year. So
mm.
apparently that's the reason why. But and apparently Jordan Grace isn't happy about working with her because they're supposed to actually have a feud.
It's crazy
Yeah,
stuff,
this is
man.
kind of a
Yeah.
ugly situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. TNA started the year by like letting go of like the president who was like the responsible for like the fortunes turning around for them for the better, for like things being better and more stable for them.
Yeah.
And now at the end of the year they pull this.
I don't know what to say, man. I just, look, I've been very happy for TNA for the past, like several months or whatever, the different direction that they've been going to. But this is a very crazy situation. So uh, it's really different when you have inner things, stuff going on within that are not working well. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's messed up. I mean, I don't know Tessa Blanchard. I never met her, but I sincerely hope that she's changed her ways and she's not that same person anymore.
Yeah,
But if she's not and she's still on that same bullshit, she's gonna get exposed real fast. And it's gonna turn out bad for her and also bad for TNA.
I agree.
Yeah, but hopefully she's learned her lesson. Hopefully she takes accountability for all the bullshit she used to do back in the day. One person who was actually very vocal about Tessa Blanchard and the crap she used to pull was Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green was one of the women who like called her out for her past behavior like back then.
Well, I hope she apologizes.
Yeah, because it's one thing if you do that kind of bullshit and you say like, "Yo, I was a different person back then. I was immature. I had a big ego. I fucked up. I'm sorry." But it's another thing when you just like act like it never happened and just carry on. Not a good look.
True.
But we'll see what happens with that, and yeah, only time will tell.
I hope it works out. I mean, because I don't want to, see this as like part of the demise of this company. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah, neither do I. I hope they succeed, but
yeah,
it's like it's a gamble. Like it's a huge gamble. Like bringing
wow.
somebody back in who has that kind of reputation. Even WWE didn't want to sign her a few years ago when she was in the Mae Young Classic.
Ooh,
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, CM Punk seems like he's changed. CM Punk seems like he's been on his best behavior since he came back, by all accounts.
yeah. We were worried about him though, but man, after being here for a year now, yeah, he's made a lot of progress, man. So,
Yeah, you don't hear him getting into any like arguments with people, like he fights with people. I mean, yeah, there's still a few people who like don't care for him really. Kevin Owens being one example, but
hmm.
just in general, he seems like he's mellowed out. At least the vibe I get.
Yeah.
And even the stuff that went on with him in AEW, even though he bear responsibility in a lot of it, I don't think it was all his fault. I definitely feel like, especially considering what we see what AEW's become now, um, he had some reasons to act the way he did. Although I'm not condoning the way he acted, I'm sure there was other factors that played into it, where he wasn't the only guilty party.
Ooh, God, that company, man. They, ooh.
Home Alone and Home Alone 2 reruns on Freeform do better ratings than the AEW shows now?
Oh, stop! Are you kidding?
That's what I saw. Like the Home Alone and Home Alone 2 reruns that came on TV on Saturday night did like 800,000 viewers or 700,000 viewers, and AEW shows don't even do that anymore. Madness.
That is sad.
It is, man. Although the show has been a little better lately. Like last week, Tony Storm came back, like OG Tony Storm, not the timeless Tony Storm. She's back. So that's like a nice shot in the arm for them. But
I think the best financial move that they did recently was when they announced that they were going to move to small arenas for their TV shows.
yeah, they're gonna need to, bro. Yeah, those empty arenas
I told
are
you,
not a
man.
good look.
I know. I told you this. I said this from the beginning. I'm gonna say it again. When you're having empty, having shows in arenas and they're half empty, that is not a good look at all. And
Hell no, it's not.
I said they needed to make that change fast. That is, oh wow. Not even the WWE had those issues, like during like the new generation era. You know what I mean?
I mean, they were performing in small arenas, like small
They
arenas where like
were,
you could
but
definitely tell that they fell
they
off.
oh yeah, they were, but they had their share of having it mainly the pay-per-views at big arenas and they'll fill up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, oh man.
Also, they're having their internal issues with like Ray Phoenix being one example. Like he put up a tweet last week about how like he had like an injury situation and they didn't want to deal with it, and how like he's gonna speak his truth very soon because apparently they added more time to his contract because he was injured. He was supposed to be done with them a lot sooner, but apparently they added more time because of his past injuries, and like he really wants to get out of there. Like it's looking like he like really wants to leave. He really wants to get released, but they're not letting him out.
The environment. The environment. That's just hmm.
And they're not using him either. That's the even worse part. It's one thing for them to not like release him and add more time to his deal, and it's also another thing to like not even use him on TV.
I feel like just they have too many people on the roster. You know what I mean? I haven't
Yeah, they do.
just my God, Ricochet first, and then Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP. These are the most recent people that they just added to their roster.
Yeah, and everybody stays clowning on Ricochet's promos.
Oh man.
I mean,
Oh,
they're not my favorite part of his act, but I mean, it is what
it's
it
kind of
is.
sad how they've fallen off a little bit because at first when they first came in, AEW was this big new fresh thing. Like, oh my God, like we have a new wrestling promotion, we have something, an alternative we could finally watch, and it started off great. And now, how long have they been in? About say what 5 years, 6 years, about almost
Over 5 years, AEW
over five
started around the
years.
time we started this show, like late 2019.
Yeah, so
And also another thing you have to consider, they started around the time WWE's product was as bad and horrible as ever.
oh right, yep, 2019.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's why
there was
that's
a
why
lot of
most wrestling fans were really, joyful to like, oh, I have something else to watch because this product, when I'm seeing on WWE at that time, just wasn't good.
Exactly. So it was an alternative. And yeah, it had its good spots in those first few years, but I've always maintained ever since Cody left, it's just all been downhill from there.
Mm, yep, I agree.
And AEW's loss was WWE's gain. And look how great Cody's doing now. And look how great WWE's doing now, for that matter.
Yeah, especially the fact that CM Punk is there now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like CM Punk and Cody were two of their top guys, like around this time 3 or so years ago. And now they're both in WWE and they're two of like WWE's biggest acts.
Yeah.
Crazy how times change.
Yep.
All right, bro. But is there anything else you'd like to get into tonight?
Oh, not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, that next week we will be doing our best of 2024. Crazy, man, how the year's pretty much at the end, man. But man, I have to say, after everything that I've seen, I think for the past few years, this by far in this era, this by far is like the best year WWE has ever had. This is by far one of my favorite years in general. If I had probably had a list of best years of favorite wrestling years, this one hits the list for me.
Yeah, I agree.
This is definitely
2024, I'll definitely put in that mix with like, 1989, 1997, 98, 2000. Yeah, I'll definitely throw it in that
yeah,
mix.
it goes on a list for me because I wasn't expecting this year to be the way it was, and it was a huge year, and I loved it. And so me and Kurt and myself will be going doing our yearly review, favorite moments and stuff. I'll probably try to take time to rewatch some events from earlier this year, but I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. And also, guys, enjoy Christmas, enjoy the holidays,
Yeah.
enjoy the Christmas parties. Don't get too fucked up and make an ass of yourself.
Watch your favorite holiday movies as well. Take the time and also take time for your family, man. This is the best time to be with your family and your loved ones because I'm going to be with my family, for the holidays, and don't take that for granted, man. The holidays, whether if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, take your time for your family, man, and don't regret them. Don't take them for granted.
I hear that. So, with that being said, until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of Champions. Take care. Have a great holiday season. And remember, especially during this time of the year, don't be an asshole in real life or social media because that shit is for the birds.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. God bless and always be cool.
Word up.